This is the thing. The Republicans made this mess just as much, if not more, than the Democrats. But the difference is the Democrats are going to run on it and try to fix it. This is Asmongold, popular video game streamer. Is he the most popular? No. But I like him because, again, like I said, he's smart and independent and has no loyalty to anybody. This was liked by 28,000 people, only disliked by 800. He's got 4 million subscribers, but this is not his main channel. This is his YouTube recycled content. He actually streams on Twitch. I don't know how many concurrents he gets, probably somewhere in the vicinity of Nick Fuentes, but this has been seen by 700,000 people, and it's only 16 hours old, so it'll get 1.5 million or something like that. Let's just take a while.
We're losing.
I don't know how much.
This is the reason. This is a huge reason, and until people like this is the Republican version of the trans issue. It is an issue that people overwhelmingly do not support.
Yep.
Overwhelmingly do not want to be controlled by, do not want to have conversations dictated in service of or in favor of. They just don't want to be involved. I think a lot of Republicans have a resentment for Israel, because of they think that Israel, plays a big role in influencing politics here in America. I think that there's a tremendous amount of resentment there. But whenever you compare,
let me add too that this video is entitled "Why Republicans Are Losing," and I acknowledge I'm objective. I acknowledge that this picture was taken from a Jewish event right after the October 7th event. And so, okay, yeah, that's why there's a whole lot of Israeli flags. I get it. But the thing is that these images are powerful and they resurface. And most people are going to look at this and they're just going to see this image. And it's not a whole bunch of American flags. And so is that a problem that Greg Abbott went there? I don't know. But when other things happen and then these pictures surface, it's like, okay, well, there's a really good data point here that people are going to use to show as evidence that you don't support America. You have other interests.
The resentment.
I don't make the rules. That's just how it works.
With the actual fact that most Americans probably think Israel is fine, but they just don't want to be controlled by them. That's all. And that's the issue, right? Nobody has a problem. Not nobody. There are some people that do have a problem with Israel. But I think that the majority of people just simply don't want them calling the shots, right? There's no thinking it. Yes, exactly. So you have and this is the thing to me, right? I see this and I think to myself, why the would I vote for this? Why would I vote for this guy? And this is, by the way, this is my governor right here.
See, oh, you're taking it out of context. This was after October 7th. I agree. But one person sees this picture out of context and they lost your vote. And you could say, oh, well, we got to fact check them. They're not going to read your fact check. They saw the picture. That was enough. Bye. And so, yes, if you're in a position of political power, you have to understand that these things will have optical repercussions. I'm sorry.
Greg Abbott, why would I vote for this retard whenever you have 2 Israeli flags, 3 Israeli flags, 3 things I stand with Israel, and only 1 American flag? I'm sorry, guys, but that's just not for me. That's not for me. I'm an American.
This is also a message for Israel, who, in my opinion, has horrible public relations. They do these things. They invite governor and they create an issue. Look at this picture. They created this picture. And I understand October 7th was horrible. October 7th caused Israel's support to go up a lot. And then it has completely crashed because of everything they've done since then.
I'm a Texan. These should be Texas flags. That should stay the same. And this should say, I stand with, I don't know, ICE, the police, firefighters, first responders, something like that. Anything except for Israel, right? And so anyway, yeah, no Texas and no Texas flags. I'm okay with state flags. I am. I think state flags are fine. And so anyway, yeah, it doesn't deserve your vote. America first, America for Americans. And yes, and at the end of the day, this is one of the things that I think Democrats have lost because of, is that Democrats have been corralled into the idea of voting for the lesser of 2 evils. And I think that Democrats decided not to vote for the lesser of 2 evils whenever they didn't vote for Kamala Harris. They didn't want to. They were demoralized. They didn't want to vote for her. She talked like a she didn't do what they wanted. She didn't say the things that she wanted. She wasn't, you know, charismatic enough, or for whatever reason, they just didn't want to have her. Groypers are taking power. Well, I don't think that necessarily not wanting to have 6 reminders inside of one frame that your country is being occupied by another country is not being a Groyper. That's being an American. This isn't Nick Fuentes. This is common sense.
Bingo.
Like, what are we doing? 7? Oh, they keep multiplying. This wasn't there the first time I saw it. So yes, anyway, wasn't this an Israeli event where Abbott was a guest? Kind of makes sense. No, maybe, right? But
yeah.
Like, whenever you see things like this that happen, here's the problem, is that you see it constantly. It's not one thing. I'll watch this. Listen to this.
Like everything I'm reading, and it's like, if you have a problem with any of that, you hate Jews and you are a Nazi.
Yeah.
See,
it's just not gonna. It's not working.
Pretty sure this is Harrison Smith, InfoWars, and I think he's been accused of anti-Semitism for sure.
And so the right is like, there are 2 factions inside of right-wing politics right now. There are America First conservatives, and there are international traditional, you know, neocon Israel, like, you know, like lobbyist people, right? Like there are 2 groups of people here.
Lobbyist people.
And the infighting is why they're losing.
Yeah, he's really smart. Somebody said in the chat, I want to bring this up. This is what's going on if you're not familiar with him. I think he's autistic. I think he's got problems with emotions or something. I don't know his whole lore, but he's looking at this completely from a non-emotional perspective that's impartial and fair in America First. Yeah, he's using all of the common sense and applying it. I've never heard him really make very many emotional arguments at all. He gets mad, but it's because people are ignoring a logical take that he has. Refreshing. You should really follow him. Like, he does a lot of political stuff now, and he didn't start that way, and it's because the leftists got insane.
They're losing because they're infighting. The reality, though, is that, again, the Israel issue is the Republican trans issue.
It's partially the infighting.
I think 80%, a huge amount of voters are demoralized, completely demoralized by the fact that they have politicians playing like kowtowing and playing patty cake with Israel constantly. It is.
That's something we should test. Like, I have Israel versus Palestine. I have like Netanyahu favorabilities, like stuff like that. But we should probably test that.
It's a massive thing. And the more that you play into that, and the more that you try to like, oh no, this is normal, this is fine, that's the problem. Pull it as you did with the trans stuff.
Is being pro-Israel and taking money from them a deal breaker for you?
Is not being pro-Israel, prioritizing a foreign country? So it's about 70-30. It looks like it's about 70-30. So, right? I mean, we've got like 1,000 votes in here. It's probably going to stay about.
This is young Zoomer men streamers. 70-30.
The same, right? Is being lobbied by Israel a deal breaker? For me, I would say that the answer to it still for me is no, it's not a deal breaker. Because I'm pragmatic and I realize that there are other things that I would want to have happen, even if it's by somebody who I dislike. However, I think that for enough people, it is. 30%. Well, 30% of people might just be saying, okay, well, there are other things that I care about more than that, right? And so that's it. And so do we have military bases in Israel? Yes, exactly. You could even say that it is one. And anyway, let's go back. I'll listen to the rest of this.
You are a Nazi. I was like, what? Wait. I don't like my politicians not knowing which country they love more. I don't like being...
It's ridiculous. If you can't immediately answer, who are you voting for? Who are you voting in the best interest for? American citizens or Israeli citizens? And you're in the American government? I think, you know what? If you can't answer that question, I have a different question. Do you want to go to Israel today or tomorrow? Because you're getting a one-way ticket there and you're never coming back. That's my opinion. That's it.
Censored for pointing out things that are true. I don't like a foreign country dictating censorship terms and destroying the First Amendment in my country.
Exactly.
I don't like being
like TikTok
surveilled by drones run out of Israel. I don't like America or Germany's cybersecurity in the hands of Israel. Yes. I don't like the...
And I think that also Israel overplayed their hand whenever they showed how good they were at killing terrorists.
Interesting.
Think about it like this. If they can pinpoint to surgical accuracy the exact apartment building that a fugitive, running from Israel, doing everything they can to hide from Israel, military officer is in Iran. And they can bomb and kill him inside of his apartment and not even affect the rest of the.
Yeah, just hold on for a few minutes. We get into Maslow's hierarchy of needs here too. Saw another super chat. Ragnarok won $5. Thanks for showing this, Mark. I'm a 30-year-old conservative, 3-time Trump voter. If Trump doesn't burn the system down, we will. America first and only. This is what's coming. I don't know what to tell you, but people are going to get frustrated because I feel like America first was a new paradigm, a forcing function that the Republican Party wasn't prepared for. And I think people offered the Republican Party America First as an olive branch that said, okay, well, we finally determined how to test you. And they failed the test. They failed the test. And so what other option? Like, I don't think things are going to get better. And I'm not calling for violence or for the system to burn down. What does burn the system down mean? I coined this term, burn the system down politics, meaning that people are angry with the status quo and they want drastic action. Doesn't necessarily mean light things on fire. It just means that things like cancel all visas, stop legal immigration. That would literally blow up the Republican, but like every one of their heads, because their donors do not want that. The whole point is that we know now that you are purchased. We know now that the Republican Party doesn't really stand for all those principles it's been using. And so we see you. And this is the problem, because it's maybe okay for the boomers who've had a really good life. It might be okay with Gen X, who grew up pretty well too. And, they're pretty good place in their life. But when you have a Zoomer who right now they are pretty nihilistic, but complacent. But when things get worse or there's no outs, what happens in countries like this? The youth rise up. Like, it's just what happens. And so I'm telling you, like, fix the system before other people fix the system for you. That's burn it down politics. And it might mean, like, yep, you ignore a ridiculous judge. They ignored the Constitution. Why do you have to not ignore the Constitution? It doesn't make any sense. You might not think that way, and I might not think that way. But somebody who knows nothing about politics other than the fact that they can't start a family might not care. And what I'm telling you is these people really don't seem to care.